One second. So I know a lot of times I get on here and there's no previous context to what we're speaking about. So if you didn't understand what was going on or what was happening, I was giving you time to digest and read about the Queen of Clubs before we entertain the concept or speak over anyone head with any type of jargon that could lead to misunderstanding of the topic and what we speak about every week. We come on here and speak about the Queen of Clubs and what does the Queen of Clubs mean and how do you understand this particular card's energy. Okay, if you don't know, look at the chat, join the chat. I also laid out a context of what I was going to bring to the topic and conversation today also. Yeah, so make sure no one was in the waiting room. But so this week, so I was wrote down particular topics and points that I was going to bring to the conversation today around the Queen of Clubs. For all of you who don't know or may not understand the cards and how they lay out, okay, I showed you the book which kind of showed you each card and the description of the card, which I will read and go over as well. But if you don't know, I am the Three of Diamonds. Okay, so for the Queen of Clubs, naturally, I am their Mars card for the Queen of Clubs. Sorry, I went to another screen. And I also have a PowerPoint from the last presentation. I believe I mentioned that last week. Actually, it was during the 10 of Clubs week where we spoke about each particular presentation that we had previously. We did the 10 of Clubs, Jack of Clubs, and Queen of Clubs. But if you don't know, for the Queen of Clubs spread, okay, for the Queen of Clubs week, the energy that may pop out or the energy that a lot of you may see can be consistent around the 10 of spades, 5 of clubs, 3 of diamonds, ace of spades, 7 of hearts, 7 of diamonds, 5 of spades, jack of hearts. And let me go through that again. 10 of spades is the Mercury. 5 of clubs is the Venus. Okay. 10 of clubs is the Mercury, your childhood, the way you think, the way that you act, the way that you retain information, even the way that you, and when I say act, I mean by your initial responses to the world or your environment. Because when we grow up, we're looking at life from our childhood a lot of times. And when based upon how we're raised, is a lot of times how we react to the world. Okay. So based upon how you was raised or based upon how you may be maybe in secret or by yourself, and I say secret because they have an ace of spades, the way that you may have, repress your emotions, your feelings maybe to yourself, you may have hidden your Mercury card and you may not have been able to express yourself, which would have um, messed up the development for the ten of spades, because what's important to the ten of spades, the Queen of Clubs, is that Mercury card for them. That's the most important part for the Queen of Clubs is their Mercury card. I know my co-hosts are not here. Kind of did this impromptu because I was like, sometimes we get on here, we don't add context, and I didn't receive a message on how long there would be. So I don't want to hold you all up too long because I know I post throughout the week what time we're going to start. I know sometimes a lot of times it has changed. Um, yeah. So for the Ten of Spades, what's important for the Mercury, for the Queen of Clubs, that Mercury card, for them is what they think, the way that they're raised, um, the way that they act. There's another book actually that's kind of goes to the Mercury card a little bit better. We're going to flip through a couple of different books today. These books are also at cardologylife.com. All right. So if you're looking for information or sources to read and learn, I always tell people that ask me, how do I know? Well, this information, how have I learned? And I would say 50-50 come from classes and books. And a lot of times the teachers told us you can learn from the books, but also use your life experiences. But also the your life experiences will reflect and back the book, the information from the book. So for the Ten of Spades, one of the information I was getting to for the Mercury card, and one of the books talks about education and hard work, because the Ten of Spades is about work. It's the drudgery that you put towards life. It's your life efforts that you cannot deny. The things that you have to do, sun up, sun down. The things that we don't want to do. Right. That is what causes drudgery. And a lot of times that is also us fighting ourselves. Also, like you can be gifted and talented, but you don't want to put forth the work, the effort. It also takes belief. That's a lot of times the spaces, our religion, our faith comes from those cards as well, because it's at Neptune, Neptune. And a lot of times a lot of times you have to admit that when life changing events or something dedicated to your work or that just was destined to happen, you had no control over that moment. It was something that happened like from a higher source, a higher power, higher spirit. And a lot of times the higher spirit and God is found through isolation or through events and occurrences outside of us. And that takes faith a lot of times. And a lot of times we contribute faith and a lot of those attributes to Neptune. Okay. So as you can see here, the Ten of Spades is, well, you can't see here. Well, you can on my screen. Like right below me, you see the Jack of Diamonds. Okay. Right below me. Maybe, yeah. Jack of Diamonds. And then you keep going down, see the Queen of Hearts, and you see the Ten of Spades. All right. So it's Neptune, Neptune. All right. So the Ten of Spades is also related to cooking as well. Work, home, taking care of others, being of service. A lot of times that is why we say that the Queen of Hearts, not the Queen of Hearts, but um, the Queen of Hearts is can be your sensories, the things that you're addicted to, the things that you love, things that you find passion for. Um, okay, I was like, did I send a text? Thing that you may find passion for will be empathetic, taking care of children, being of service. So a lot of times that Ten of Spades can maybe end up in marriages, because they're overly thinking about how can I serve, how can I help, or they become very dedicated to their work. That may be how they find an escape as well, through their work or their relationships. A lot of Queen of Clubs or that energy is probable maybe to having kids early, or early marriage. A lot of times, just the energy is around marriage, relationships. So it's just Queen of Clubs weekend. The energy is around relationships, marriage, women and men, the way that you think, the way that you serve each other. And let me go through your comments as well. Thank you all for joining me every week, tuning in. Even if you don't tune in while I'm live, a lot of people do tune in afterwards. And I do appreciate it, or they come and watch it throughout the week. So thanks, JLo, for showing up every week. Um, Northern Lights, thank you for showing up. I kind of know you, but I don't want to say y'all personal name. But thank y'all for showing up. Well, let me see some of your comments. I seen someone mention about the Queen of Queens is my grandson's Venus. Um, so either the Seven of Clubs, Ace of Hearts. What's the other one? Or the Six of Spades? Okay, yeah. So, and how did that all kind of relate to my week as well, right? So this week for me was all about work and also what the Ten of Clubs, Queen of Clubs can't take for granted is their blessings. Okay, so the Ten of Spades is the work and it's the dedication, but they're also given. Either they work their tail off or they just are aloof. It can be maybe lazy, not take education serious, not take work serious. It's like a kid that doesn't have to really work for anything. He may not have chores. It may just be given money or allowance without having to work for anything. And what may drive him towards independence or that attitude of work may have to be children, may have to be the household or getting boggled down or having to take care of things around the house, right? With that particular energy. So for me, I did get blessed this week. Like I said, I went to the concert and I got a blessing. You can also see that not just through the Queen of Clubs week. I say that I got a blessing also because I'm their Mars card. So I did show that previously as well through the text. All right, so I go back and kind of talk about that as well. Why the Three of Diamonds is important to the Queen of Clubs. How could the Three of Diamonds maybe inspire the creative ability, maybe them having their own business, adding or advising them in certain type of ways. I have seen the Queen of Clubs through conversation being birthed through the Queen of Clubs or just be friends. I actually have the advantage. We say that we should take advantage of your people that you know, right? And which I do. My cousins, my family members, I take notes of who I'm a relative with or who I have a relationship with, get their birthdays, and studying them. Unfortunately, they are my free test subjects around the cards, and that's how I get to understand. And that's just not understanding it from one perspective. That's the highs and lows of that card as well, because you have, like I said, the Queen of Clubs that can be very hardworking, and the one that's aloof. I'm going to let you know exactly which one I'm studying, but I've seen it on both ends, just outside of just my family as well. But if a Queen of Clubs isn't hardworking, you got to look at the Ten of Spades. It's challenged by the Four of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts. So it could be a mother, an overly bearing mother. Or the child or the home was a broken home. As well, because the Four of Hearts is its challenges. It's like my cards is phone the cards. Nah, that's probably one of the best ways to learn. Saving your contacts under your cards. But also, so the Four of Hearts is also there as well for this particular card and this particular energy. So it could be a broken home or something challenging in the home. The home could be a challenge or it could cause them to work towards a goal as well. A lot of times we call the Jack of Hearts the children, having to take care of kids, and we call the King of Hearts the baby daddy card. Probably because actually Aquarius mentions that, and probably because that Queen of Clubs and that King of Hearts relationships, how the feminine transforms into a masculine energy, right? So you can see the relationships, or there's a connection between the mother and the child, or the parents in some type of way. Because in the middle child is what's it, the exact middle, but just 7 foot is 12, somewhat. So, but you have in the middle of its transformation is the children. So who's always in way or the middle of the parents. Sometimes getting along or issues or problems is the parents. So yeah, so a lot of times there may be a lot of work in the home, the Queen of Clubs. Even the men may have to take care of um, the children, or be responsible a lot of times within the home, So the women and men in the Queen of Clubs, some of them may love to cook. They may be the person that, or the men may be the person that feed the family, that may cook within the home, So there's a lot of responsibility or workload around the Queen of Clubs, women and men within the home, masculine or feminine. Let me see. So for me, I did receive a blessing. All right. And also around this is artistic inspiration as well. There can be a gift around arts. They are writers a lot of times. Working in the home could be around creating something, designing something, using their creative abilities and intuition for the best of their financially wise, or best of like for their business, or they want to be entrepreneurs in some type of way, right? A lot of times, like I said, Queen of Clubs are going to be teachers, they're going to be writers, or like scientists, or they can also express their um, ways through painting, drama, or through music a lot of times. And so that Ten of Spades um, is very important, because your heart is around those things of creative power. That's what I was talking about, just like cooking and creative expression. So cooking, music, is where you're going to find the hearts. They're going to love music. They're going to love to dance. They're going to love to, enjoy a good time. I always say the Ten of Hearts is a party, which is Michael Jackson's card, right? So Michael Jackson made dance music, I think, for his time period, his era, party music. But again, like through employment. So employment job. So how did I run into that, or how did have the energy? So maybe around Monday, I ran into the guy. He can't speak English. He was Hispanic, and I was like, all he speaks is dinero. So yeah, all he spoke was money, right? That was like our common a medium language was money. Um, so what's crazy about this also is the Queen of Clubs is a card of working in prayer. So but it's the saying is, um, faith without work is dead, right? So I've been looking and trying to have a clothing line since 2017, 2018, maybe. My first idea of having a clothing line was fruit and veg entree. The concept around fruit and veg entree was to have a clothing line dedicated to inspiring people around to eat better and healthier. I'm trying to see if I can find a design to eat better and healthier, and also give out information about herbs through clothing. I think the education system and the way that we educate people um, is so formatted in just one way. And actually, let me take that back, because the government knows that education comes through art a lot of times, right? So my point of my clothing line, or any clothing line, or anything I do, is around education. So that was my purpose of creating fruit and veg entree, was to educate people about food and health through clothing and art. And not to say that even artists don't know that, because that's a lot of times why they use arts to influence, to inform people about certain things, emotions, how they feel about social, be social activists through their art. A lot of artists. I even know Ace of Diamonds, that she's an artist, and she informs about the trials and tribulations of women going through different issues, trying to reproduce through her clothing line, you know. And I will share her, Molly Walter. I'll share her Instagram. She's dope. She's out. She's also a Gemini. Woo, woo, Gemini gang gang. She's also a dope astrologer as well. Maliwatta. That's three T's. A contemporary artist, polymath, UAL grad, London and Azerbaijan. You know, um, so yeah, she speaks multiple languages. I don't know if you can. Is there a glare? Maybe so. Oh, that's showing two. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So that's more of her style. But she's pretty dope. Who I should check up on more. You know, I'm a horrible friend. Sometimes I get so busy. Um, but yes. So the artist, the instincts of an artist, intuitional information. A quote from the Queen of Clubs in that energy is also, um, I think I wrote it down, that God speaks or sows into men through the power of their thoughts, right? So it was intuition that led me to that location, to that place, to meet that guy, actually, right? It's something that I've been looking to manifest. I've been praying on probably since I don't know, last November. Like I said, the idea of a clothing line came since like 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. 2018, 2019, 2018, 2017, vividly, I remember like drawing on the porch, right? Of the fruit and veg entree, how I wanted to look, and had the Kendrick, had the J. Cole figure, his album cover. So there was a lot of different concepts and pieces I was going to add to that. So the concept of art and education is all instilled within the Queen of Clubs in that Ten of Spades as well. You know, I also look at that as film and photography also, you know. Also the Seven of Spades, Three of Spades, film, photography, capturing the moment, educating people through different mediums of of pictures and art, you know. So the Ten of Spades, remember, it's Neptune, Neptune, you know. So even movies, you know, all comes through TV. I believe comes through the Ten of Spades. Even those things are sexual energy. So a lot of times Hollywood and those things, all those things can get mixed in together. You got to look at the depths of what Neptune actually is, right? It's the card for bed pleasures, laziness, you know. So getting stuck in one's own mind, mental drudgery, you know, depression. Where you go into your bed, you're depressed, you know. So the Queen of Clubs also is a card about mental health as well, or information, knowledge. So substance abuse. Let me go there. Substance abuse can go through that card as well. Sitting Queen of Hearts, sitting Neptune. Where are they at? Because I have to go to work. Because of all these events that took place leading up, so I'm talking about I have to go to work because I've been missing Amazon. It's been so much. Well, also intuition. I'm going into my complete story of using my intuition to travel as well, because they're going to the Five of Clubs. So I found this guy traveling, trying to find a store to go to, looking for shirts for the concert. So I found him. I was blessed with more inventory than I can actually print out at one time or even afford to have personally, to be honest. Like I was given so much. It was such a blessing. And abundance comes with the Ten of Clubs, Queen of Clubs. They get promoted like job promotions and those things. Also because they're service, they always wanting to help. You know, right before I was given this, I just gave somebody $100 to do something for me, I believe. Yeah, I had gave somebody like $100 to do something for me, So I felt actually like I received a blessing because of that blessing I gave. But I said blessings because the ten of diamonds is Jupiter, in the spread also for the life, and it supports the Queen of Clubs. So again, like I said, a Queen of Clubs can also forsake themselves because they're giving so much and don't put the actual effort to what they're giving. You know, so I actually have to use the resources and what I was given, right? But I actually found this dude just like I said, randomly working, trying to find inventory to build out clothing to take to Kendrick Lamar's concert because I already had something in mind, something I always wanted to. I wanted to have an all white release, and so the two shirts and designs I have is one of them. It's a Drake shirt. It's if in Euphoria, the line goes headshots. You better walk around like Daft Punk, right? So that was the concept. I knew it'll sell out. I knew it'd be like a hit. I actually showed it to a dance artist. I was Let me make sure I get her Instagram right. I met her at the Kendrick Lamar video shoot yesterday. Um, Yeah, her name Storm the Bird. I met her at the Kendrick Lamar, and she was like, "That's dope," and she took one herself. So I was like, "That's gonna sell out. That'll be easy." Because around the Queen of Clubs is using your creative energy, your power, and the ability to create to make money for you as well, right? So they're really wealthy. They're given a lot, but they have creative talents. They have to express themselves, but if you don't use it, if there's laziness or any type of lack around them, then they're not really successful, right? If you're not sure of yourself and you don't know what you want to do in life, it's hard to really hone in and using your creative abilities. A lot of times, the third diamonds can exhaust themselves, and Aquarius always says there's going to be the one thing they actually put to the side that actually creates them success, right? The one thing they didn't even focus on is the one thing that makes them money. So even when you hear someone talk about a card and it's not your specific card, if it's in your spread, that energy is still speaking to you, or maybe even certain habits that you have as well. You know, so that's why all this was kind of highlighted, right? I was somewhat of a highlight within this moment. Speaking of highlights, we don't have Gina, who's the Pulo card. And the King of Diamonds, which is the Moon card, who's left out of the spread also. Let me see. And the only reason that because I'm pressed for time and I really haven't made money all weekend because of events of the concert and the video shoot and trying to get these cards kind of pressed. So I'm the Mars card for the Three of Diamonds. And before I get to the Three of Diamonds, I'll talk about the Five of Clubs as well. So let me talk about the Five of Clubs before I get to me. But I'm important through the particular cards because it's using your intuition, using your creative abilities to make money. That's how the Queen of Clubs uses the Three of Diamonds. And they may have to go through a lot of different jobs. They may not know exactly what they want to do. And if you ask the Three of Diamonds, they may have a million ideas. I mean, no, we hate just mentioning maybe of this person. We don't like him, but P. Diddy is Donald Trump. I don't know Three of Diamonds that actually has grace right now. So you know what? I appreciate y'all for rocking with me because in the greater light and sense of things, we do not look good on these streets. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't walking on pins and needles. And I've said this for a while. Pray for the Three of Diamonds. I said it last year. Pray for them because there's something going on with that particular energy, and a lot of them are catching heat. You got Gunna, you got Donald Trump, you got P Diddy, you got Polite. Like I don't even have to say no more. Those are like out of the conscious community, the Polite has to probably be the most hated person right now. government wise, Donald Trump has to be the most hated person right now. Music wise, don't nobody know if they like Gunna or they hate him right now. And again, music, P Diddy is the most hated person on the block. So please don't martyr me out either, right? That's how I was going to talk about the 5 of clubs, but let me finish this out because I know I can be everywhere. So why is the 3 of diamonds important? So with many talents and abilities, you should have no great difficulty in making money, but the 3 of diamonds and Mars suggest that managing may be a different story. Managing it, that is, why is that important? Because I ain't gonna lie, I've probably spent a lot of money, and my rent is paid, but I spent a lot of money. And it was all sense for actually, I wouldn't say helping, but letting other people borrow money at the time. And I was talking about the 3 of diamonds energy. It's also the energy of robbing Peter to pay Paul, as I'm like all scrunched over. Robbing Peter to pay Paul as well, right? So what does that mean? It means that, let me try to have the 3 of diamonds back, because I feel like this is Diddy's energy, and it's also interesting that we're speaking about it, because I did make a post, and I commented that Diddy is robbing Peter to pay Paul. That means that someone has an idea, or they got into business or anything. I ain't gonna say it has to be this, or any situation where, let's say I invested some money into something and it didn't go right, and now I have to go to the bank, and I may not actually use the money what I said I was going to use it for. I can invest into buying more supplies, or it may just be to pay back somebody else money that I borrowed to go into business with. So it's like you got yourself into a bad situation because you just don't know how to manage your money. Basically, I said all that for no reason. You basically don't know how to manage your money. And I can't say I don't know how to manage my money, but I did let someone borrow money, and that was like, so at the time of these shirts, I needed a blessing. I was given, it was actually a blessing, because the money management on that was bad money. That was poor money management on my side. So I found myself in the energy of this week, as far as like the bad managing money part. I do have to admit that. But again, the blessing of what I got was way more worth than probably what I could even afford. Even if I didn't manage my money right, I wouldn't. If I didn't let someone borrow that much, I wouldn't even. I don't know if I could have bought that much of that, anyways. But a touch of extravagance combined with impulsive, somewhat erratic nature implies a need for caution in financial matters and legal involvements. All right. So that was important. Like I said, I got involved with someone materialistically or through money wise, and I just didn't manage that situation well, right? But I did end up getting into a blessing, based upon that. Um, oh, it also says don't be too trusting as it may backfire. So hopefully I don't have to learn my lesson that it backfires on me, right? But the other part of this is I've been talking about intuition and letting go and destiny between the Queen of Hearts, Ten of Spades, and work. What also drives destiny, I think, is you have to be outside. You just have to be on the go. One of the a artist, Two Chains, once said that being an artist is difficult, or even being an artist full time. You have to be an artist full time because you have to be on the go to be an artist. Like once your creative mind goes, or even as a business person, like the only way to run into a blessing is if you outside and on the move. I feel like as a Queen of Clubs and anyone social, that's how we all receive our blessings. I don't think very few people. I think the only way to be successful in life and not be outside in any type of way is if you're a genius and you're a computer programmer. Like socially awkward people doing what I'm doing now, it's the only way a socially awkward person would be successful streaming here by myself, or if I'm a computer programmer. But actually, I think streaming, a lot of people who have a very outgoing personality are very, or something to communicate with experts, geeks, socially awkward people are successful. But people who are socially outgoing are successful because that you have to be a performer a lot of times in these settings and scenes. A lot of times, the focus, energy in a particular topic make people successful that aren't as entertaining or doesn't have such a bravado or type of personality, or too expressive. But the five of clubs for the queen of clubs is important because they need someone or a partner that can challenge them mentally, keep them on the go, keep them on the move, And I think a lot of the blessing comes from not being still, being outside, being able to meet people, right? There's a lot of ways that they get their blessings as well, and also combats emotional restlessness. If they're not bored, staying in the house. So being outside for that Queen of Cups to receive your blessings, not just because I received a blessing because I was outside, but I think a good way to do that is to be outside. On the other hand of that is the emotional part for the Queen of Clubs, which, as far as relationships, which may not be best for them. Where they at? They're like, nah, we ain't showing up today. Um, is the emotional part for the Queen of Clubs. Mm, emotional restlessness. A, a lot of times they can end up in divorce in certain ways. Also, when they do end up in divorce, it may not. It could cause trouble within the home, right? Emotional restlessness. I want to say, well, I guess a delusion, right? It can happen. Um, Love may be a cross through illness or disillusionment. So with that, they can be have kind of be lovesick. And I was thinking about that earlier as well. I'm trying to think of why, because they have a seven of hearts and Saturn, right? So going through divorce, suffering through illness of heartbreak, it could happen. A relationship also. I was posted today about the scissor thing. Relationships is probably the worst thing for the Queen of Clubs because of Three of Diamonds. Um, a lot of times, Three of Diamonds gets distracted within their relationships or because of their relationships. A lot of times, you know, so it can halter business. It can hold them up, just through their life path. It can be a depressing time just for their energy based upon their relationships or love life or their personal love life. So it can definitely hurt a Queen of Clubs because they may have issues within the workplace or betrayal through friendships a lot of times just with that energy. Um, and that kind of reminds me, I didn't put the birthdays of the Queen of Clubs up here. Hello, Madeline. But Queen of Clubs birthday.
Hi, Rashad. So you're going through the spread of the Queen of Clubs?
Yeah, I went through the spread, kind of told my personal story as well.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to listening. Yeah, I heard some of the Three of Diamonds, like, Three of Diamonds in relationships. Like whenever you talk about the Three of Diamonds in relationships, it always sounds a little heavy.
Yeah, right. Uh, uh, yeah. I guess I can say that depressed part around relationships. What was crazy? I went to um I went to a psychic and I kind of got mad. She was like, you're not gonna be fulfilled until you really get the family you want. I was like, what? You know how you go to
You're like, no, I don't want to do that. No.
I was like, no, my happiness
But
hopefully
like, I
they
was just reading something when I was camping, and it was talking about this artist from Joshua Tree. It's like JT Easy or something. But anyways, in his article, he wrote about how he was a rock and roll guy and he had all this fantasy to be whatever that was going to be, but he got called to his family in a big way, and he called it a seminal experience. Like, I think there's something about growing in a family that changes you in ways that almost nothing else can. And I know sometimes the ones we grew up in, you think to yourself, like, golly, I don't know if I want to do that again. But it's such a natural maturing. Like, you have to work with others, like, constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of hard when you're more independent and more comfortable independent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was speaking about a little bit earlier around the Queen of Clubs um, is the socially awkwardness, well, not socially awkward, but how they have to be in service to a family or be independent, and they may push their independence, or what may push their independence is either work or creating a family for themselves, or they may struggle within the home, that can push them to be independent as well, because they may have a shaky childhood as well, outside of just having the Five of Clubs and Venus. That can have a shaky of childhood, or maybe move house to house, or those things, or a broken home. So yeah, it can shape your personality, how you associate with just different people.
That's something else I was thinking about recently, is how part of what the challenge is in relationships is managing the personalities of each other. In yoga, the whole goal is to soften enough so that your soul can come through your personality, right? Because sometimes our personalities are built on responses to feel like, I'm never going to do that again, or that's not going to happen, or mine's going to be like this. Things of that type of nature that start to shape our personality, or the projections that people put onto us, or the ones we have for ourselves. And that it grows a personality, like a way that you think you are. And I always used to say to the clients and stuff, like, I don't know, the simplest way I could say it is, we got to get over ourselves. And it seems crazy, but it's like, you make an idea of yourself, and until you can really like let it go and see what else there is, you're kind of stuck holding and getting mad at people because they're not doing it the way you want.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, because the Seven of Hearts, that's kind of equivalent to Queen of Clubs. They definitely have to let people go, as well. People don't treat you a certain type of way. You're not getting the response that you believe you should a lot of times, or holding people to a certain standard, could cause issues as well. Just projecting onto people. I think the Seven of Hearts, Queen of Clubs, can be catering to gossip sometimes, and sometimes we can gossip about people, and it can shape our perception of what we have about people. We can project, based upon that gossip of what we know, and also that can lead you to project upon them verbally in the way that you speak to them, based upon the gossip or what was said
Mm.
to someone also.
So there's some stuff going on from what you were talking about. There's J-Lo's got a whole bunch that she shared. I wasn't tracking it. I wasn't listening as long as she was, obviously. But there's something here, like, my daughter called me because my grandson, Three of Diamonds, was misbehaving. She couldn't handle a 6-year-old. And Northern Lights, I guess Marnie, that is. Seven of Hearts, Saturn, and that Nine of Spades, Peak, Eek, LOL. I guess you can see him, right?
Yeah, I think I've spoken about a few of them. My daughter not call me.
Yeah, gossip is for sure a thing for the Seven of Hearts. I have to watch myself when I play with my Seven of Hearts friends, because you get so gossipy just like with hanging out with them.
Yeah, um, and I say that because I have the Ace of Spades and the Two of Clubs. So it's just the nature of just speaking, communicating, and they're so involved with people. with the Seven of Hearts. The Seven of Hearts is big upon relationships, and they can be keepers of other people's secrets, of other people's information. So it can be a thing that's around them, the way that they socialize, the way they talk. It can be a little gossipy because the Ace of Spades is like the keeper of secrets. So yeah. What's going on, G?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi, Gina.
Hi.
Rashad took the time to go over the Queen of Clubs spread. I didn't hear it. I got here only a little bit ago myself. And he seemingly shared some of his own story. And now we were talking about the Seven of Hearts and how there's a tendency for gossip or being in so many relationships. You're always like talking about other people because you're in so many relationships.
Nice.
So we're in the Queen of Clubs, and that's what's up. How was your day?
Long, but it was good. Unfortunately, it takes a funeral to get people that I saw people that I haven't seen in 25 years today. So, a lot of it was a high school friend that passed. So it was literally like a high school reunion. So it was bittersweet because unfortunately it takes that, but it was so like nostalgic because the memories and like just the being able to kind of like go down memory lane. I mean, these are kids I grew up with, so it was, and we're all like old older now too, so your people would walk by and you're staring at each other because like I know you, but it's like trying to place it, you're like, oh my god. And so it was definitely a day. It was long. I'm really tired, but I'm really glad I went because I kind of was sitting on the fence about going. It's funny, Rashad, I have your card today, and I felt that yesterday because I was like, I am so indecisive. I need to make even down to what I was gonna wear. Like I had like I was like, what am I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, that was me yesterday.
So it was definitely very indecisive energy for me. But I'm really, really glad I went because, connecting with people and, where you see each other on Facebook, but we haven't been in each other's space since we were in high school. So, because a lot of us left, I mean, a lot of us didn't. A lot of people are still in my hometown, but a lot of people aren't there. There was probably well over 200 people at this funeral today. There was standing room only. You barely could get into the building. So you could feel the love.
It's so sad. It sounds so sad, but so loving in the same breath.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very, very much. So I'm just getting home and I'm really tired. So I wanted to pop on real quick. So I don't even know if they're still on.
No, yeah, we're still here. I was just gonna go probably sooner or later. I was just saying how because I've been outside kind of all week that I missed going to Amazon all week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've missed going to Amazon, so I haven't been making no money. I've been outside, but I've enjoyed myself. I definitely enjoyed myself. Actually, I think I just got something for a little closer. That's my Amazon going on. But I'm like debating, like, should I go outside or should I could sell shirts maybe, right? Let me see how far this is. So this is 9 minutes from me. And this place is 9 minutes. It's 7 o'clock. Really 7 to 5. So I got about 30, 40 minutes. But my issue this week was I found a t-shirt guy to sell for my business by randomly being outside. And so I've been trying to make some money, but then also there's been events that's been taking place. And then I was delayed. Found the shirts. I went to go get them printed for an event, but I have a 6 of spades and 6 of diamonds and Neptune. And then I had a 6 of diamonds and Uranus. So the gift that I got, it was an exchange of money. The gift that I got also, I wasn't able to get the shirts printed in time. And then I went to sell the shirts again, and then a video shoot happened. So it was like, a lot of different things just kind of hindered me from actually selling the shirts. But my whole plan was to sell the shirts. But 6 Diamonds, Neptune. I'm in a new week still. I went to a video shoot yesterday, which was dope. Which also I didn't go get to sell the shirts either. But it's all right. So trying to think, indecisive right now if I should go to Amazon. We'll see.
Listen, that energy is no joke, because down to what I was gonna wear, if I'm gonna go. Like, oh my God. Like, stop.
But I changed clothes yesterday like 3 or 4 times.
I can imagine. Like,
that's just a me thing. Everybody don't do that. I thought
no. Not to that extent. Like, I literally sat on the fence of, I was like, that damn 3 of Diamonds has got, and now, and like that today, that's my card, because today's my Neptune day. But it was already like hitting me yesterday. Like, I still hadn't decided if I was gonna go. Like, I kept going back and forth with it. And so I was like, what is this coming from? I was like, oh, the 3 of Diamonds energy is nuts. But I think with that energy though, once you decide on something, that's when you have to move forward with it. You have to, that's the key, I think, is like, you have to be like, I'm doing it. And then you can't talk yourself out of it. You can't back out. You have to commit to it. And I think that's where the transformation into the 4 is so important, because I'm just like I feel so good, even though I just came from a funeral. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really glad I went. Like, the heartwarming of seeing people, and, so I think that is really a lesson in itself, because you see the back and forth, but once you commit to something, there's a lot of satisfaction with that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of contentment with that. So I can appreciate that now. I just don't like the back and forth.
No, buying the shirts, I was saying I was in a financial difficulty. I didn't disclose the price, but before buying the shirts, I didn't actually have the money. But it was a situation where either I call, ask for help, or I tap into some money somewhere else that I found that I forgot I had, which I did. I had I sold some cryptocurrency, and I bought the shirts. So, but it was an immediate decision, that I had to fulfill. Like, I had like 5 or 10 minutes to decide. I went through them. I was like, are they even quality? Are they even good enough? But I felt good after I made the decision. Yeah, I definitely felt good.
So there's that. Yeah, that makes so much sense. That's that power energy.
Yeah, and we sit Mercury, Uranus too. I always talk about Uranus being like the position of a blessing or something that happens. Like, you're going to a concert, but then you like, let me go around the corner to the store, and you run into somebody that leads you to a new job or something. That's like something that unexpected plan, that unexpected circumstance, based upon that quick decision of use your intuition. Because you got to think about, the Queen of Clubs is a card of intuition as well. They have to think fast. You have to make fast decisions. Use your instincts, your intuition is based upon past behaviors and past things as well. So it's not exactly a book smart. A lot of times we think of clubs as these book smart cards, but the Queen of Clubs is the example of, it may not be a book smart, but you have to be intuitive and know what's going on, or informed about many things, right? Because that me and that guy, we couldn't speak a bit of English, but I knew money. I knew what he was talking about as far as like money wise. It wasn't the intelligent conversation that got me through. It was just me knowing what was going on. But yeah, and definitely the 3 of Diamonds and the Queen of Clubs, making a decision work wise, career wise. That can be tough. Choosing where your values like is always tough for me. But the Diamonds isn't nothing without focused energy, and like, unless you know what you want, unless you can focus your energy, that is the creative power of the Diamonds, is built in the focused energy of creation. You know, that is why diamonds can vary in value. You know, but when it varies, you don't have that focused energy. And I'm not going to say you're not successful, but that can be where your issue is, because you can be the jack of diamonds or the jack of all trades. You know.
Yep. Well, I'm really enjoying working with the Queen of Clubs, Donna Webb. She does parenting with Cardology, and she and Gina and Rob and Rashad's in the mix too. We've been playing with a concept of really focusing on families, and I'll say her ability to serve and communicate with like ease. You know, like I think sometimes, again, I'm going to go back to personalities. When you weren't here, Gina, we were touching in on how sometimes the bumps people experience with each other have more to do with personalities and the way we shaped ourselves and the way we responded, and kind of bumping up against each other. Like if two people get married, like you have a way your family is and their family is, and yada, yada, you know? So, but I have found that she does it with such ease. I don't hear resentment. I don't feel the frustration. I feel the joy of her being able to use what she's good at. Like she's a worker. She's a Queen of Clubs, 10 of Spades. And then, you know, we working with the 5 of Hearts too. It's like really fascinating when you put together the gifts, how everybody's gifts get stronger, because you no longer have that sense of like, I have to do this all myself. And I just find that she's a really refreshing energy to work with. The whole way has been really wonderful, because I sense that everyone is now recognizing that we're being called to something bigger than our idea of what we thought we'd be or our personalities. It's a way to use these cards to help families be kinder and learn about why we're together. So I'll just speak that to the Queen of Clubs, because that's what was on my head about the Queen of Clubs week, is feeling gratitude for the way when somebody does come into a mastery of themselves, their card and their way of playing it, it's strong. It's like playing cards with somebody who knows how to play cards.
Yeah, and she's a great energy. Like I love her organization, her ability to take the information. I mean, she's her ideas that she has, like, and just her yeah, like you said, her understanding of the cards, the and her, and again, her, you can feel, even though I've never met her in person, but even through the Zooms, you can feel her passion for it. You can feel her sense of like, I love this work. And it comes with the work that she brings to what we've been working on. You know what I mean? You get that from her. Totally. I love it.
Yeah, and she's been doing this for 20 plus. You know,
Yeah.
she's been doing
Yeah.
this for a long time, and she used it for middle schoolers to try to understand how to meet them. So I'm grateful for the way things come together. And I guess for the 3 of Diamonds, I always want to give them faith. I always want to give them more like trust in the way it unfolds, because it seems like that way that you think you can mess it up makes you hard to not mess up.
As
But
far as in which way?
well, like if you're always worried about messing up, it kind of puts a little pressure on you, because you're real critical of yourself, right?
Yeah, it's a 3. It's indecision. And that can perfection. I went to someone. She was saying I can be a perfectionist, but I've grown to not really care. My sensitivity, as it says, sensitivity, right, comes from, I guess, as a childhood. I have social anxiety, social sensitivity. Um, so that's where where that kind of comes from me. I don't like really being in the forefront, and also my Saturn is in 12th house as well. So it's not really big, or I don't feel like I have to be, you know. But in certain instances, I get called to the forefront. So that's where it is for me. I can't say all 3 of diamonds what their exact issue could be, or what could be making them hesitant as far as reacting or doing certain things, or what be causing the indecision. But yeah, it can be perfectionism, but also not being able to pinpoint exactly what's going to take care of you financially. It's a diamond, so it's a lot of times it's financial um, issues that kind of holds us back as far as putting our eggs in one basket, and also has an ace of spades as well. So with that, there's a sense of ownership and creation that comes from that, I think. And then you have the King of Hearts and the King of Diamonds that are its reward, So that leadership, ownership, and creating something that's yours, I think sometimes is very valuable. But in the sense of the public, how would it be taken? And also, can it going to support you financially? So that's a lot of financial perfection, those things in there. But overall, yeah, the Queen of Clubs is a card of service. Um, there's never really regret because they in the sense of servitude. How can I help? How can I serve others? And they do reap the rewards and benefits. I was kind of saying that earlier. A reason I think I was rewarded or benefited at that particular moment, and given because I just gave somebody $100 for doing something for me earlier. Now I really didn't. I'm gonna say I didn't have to, but there was no price point. But I believe I got that in return for what I gave. And Queen of Clubs is a prayerful card. It has a lot of faith. One thing that it says that God speaks to men through their thoughts. Also, the Queen of Clubs prays, for what they want, and they a lot of times get what they want. They say the Three of Diamonds is the closest to God. I think really it's like the intuitive cards and the ones that can think, pray, and have vision. Because I think without those, being close to God, as far as it's like you can be there, but you gotta have faith, But I think you gotta know how to pray. I think the Queen of Clubs is a prayerful card, and a lot of things they already want it. So once you're there and you pray for something, you take action. Without action, what you prayed for isn't really, it's not going to work out for you, really, for anyone. I think they really respect that as well. They have a vision, they have a goal, and they have a desire, and they're very patient, and they know their prayers work. Not to say a Three of Diamonds doesn't, but sometimes there's a little bit more impatience, possibly. But I'm their Mars card, so they could be even. They can push maybe the impatience, and I'm the Three of Diamonds, so they can also go through financial issues, troubles, but being the faith driven part, I think is I think for them it's more mentally driven, and I think I kind of seen that this week because there's something I prayed for. There's something I wanted. I've been wanting to have an all white release clothing line since November of last year. So for that to come about in June of this year was like I could have threw that to the wind. I couldn't even been outside trying. I couldn't have been looking for no clothes. I couldn't without prayer and without faith. I wouldn't have been able to get that. So perseverance through issues and challenges is important as well through that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they persevere. And also perseverance for the Ten of Diamonds is important. That's what supports them, right? Ten of Diamonds has that as a Mercury card, right? The Ten of Diamonds, is that Mercury, the Eight of Spades? Yeah, because early in the morning, is best for them. So the Eight of Spades is perseverance. So the Ten of Diamonds with that Eight of Spades that supports the Queen of Diamonds, most definitely, I think, supports their hard work and their dedication. Very hard workers. Queen of Clubs, I said earlier that they get a lot of things, but they do work really hard as well. They're not just blessed because they get a lot of things, but also say it takes hard work and faith, for them. It's a Ten of Spades and Mercury. So they can Ten of Spades is over exhausting at work. They can exhaust this for a cause, most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I just came out of like 2 days of camping and no phone and just totally chill. So my brain's just kind of like, what? Did I tell you about the butterfly I saw? Oh, yeah, there was a duck that was swimming for a really long time. You should have seen the eagle. So that's where my brain is. We went to a place called the Kolob Reservoir, and it was a long, like 15, 16-mile dirt road up to the top of this really high elevation with a beautiful reservoir where the snow all melts, and the color of the snow was unbelievable. And and I just saw things like I'm just like, nature softens me like putty. So I feel like that. So, but the intuition is feeling strong, so I'm not without it. But I definitely feel my mind feels so quiet. Sometimes I feel like when we talk about the cards, it becomes so mental. And I always want to be like conscious of like energy, because there's so many shticks already for me that I hear in the cards. Like when I hear myself talk about it, or other people talk about it, and I guess because our personalities are so unique and the cards are actually energies and tendencies, they're not necessarily like tickets that say it's how it is. It's information to say, well, what's true about me and how am I using my personality? And obviously my personality was very quiet all weekend. My personality was the quiet lady just staring off at the water, going out on the paddle boat and being like, oh, there's my breath.
Well, what cards did you have? Let's look at your energy for the week. I was gonna look at that for myself, anyways.
Hey, what did I have? Let's see. I have the 7 of clubs. It's my daily card, and I'm in a Queen of Diamonds 52 day.
And today's the 7 of clubs. Interesting.
So I'm for sure not in negative thinking. I'm for sure in the high thoughts of the free and feeling very creative. But I'm telling you, I'm really trusting that the things are going to come together, because I find for my personality that, and I'm going to really give myself some time realizing it's a personality and not something that I have to be. It's just the way I grew. If I think I'm not doing it fast enough or good enough or better enough or whatever, I end up not doing it or not having fun doing it. And I'm just like, I'm going to be 60. Like, have fun doing whatever the heck you do. Like, there should be nothing but you doing it in a way that you enjoy. These are things you love. Do you know, like to take that pressure that my personality or my kingship might have brought into play when I didn't know I was cool unless I was doing something a certain way. I'm feeling very softening to that. But, you know, I'm in those couple of weeks before your birthday, so everything kind of does what it does. I always find that's a little bit of an awareness portal of its own.
Yeah, that Neptune 52. So it is very that's spiritual, and really it's like listening to spirit. It's listening to, the inside and going within and really being guided by that energy. And it also is a good time to kind of sit with your year and everything that you've been through or experienced, especially knowing the cards and being aware of the energies. And like, I love that, because I'm also in my Neptune 52 day period too, and it's crazy. I have a 5 of clubs, and I was on the road. I may be going back down there in 2 weeks, because I grew up in South Florida, so a lot of surfers. Like all these people that I was around today, all were surfers, and so they're doing a paddle out, in honor of him, in 2 weeks. So I'm very well may go down there again, because we were all beach babies basically, and so again, traveling. And then 2 weeks after that, I'm moving my daughter to Jacksonville. So it's a lot of 5 energy, right? But it's also, I don't want to not sit with the time, because I really like whenever I'm in this 52 day period, I really like to sit with the year that I've been in and kind of start to reflect to the year that I'm going to go in. So that's, you'll feel that a lot in your Neptune period.
It makes sense. And the 44 to the 45, that your
Yeah.
last window would be a 5, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 of clubs is what I have.
I watched the moon come up, and it took a really long time. It didn't come up till really late because of how high it was. And then the sun came up in my tent. So I did a moon rising and then a sun rising. I'll tell you, I don't even know. I don't know what happens inside our bodies, if it's Neptune or not. But like, I found like, ching! I was like, it does something. There's really something about being in nature at certain times that, yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, that's what my Neptune self is doing. But Rashawn, thank you for always being so real about your stuff and using this time and keeping it consistent. And I'm down to keep our Sunday fun. But for now, I'm pretty tired, because I won't say the sleeping part was really comfortable. in my tent, but I did do it.
She's like, I want my bed.
And
Bye,
it's so
y'all.
Yeah.
I feel you. I'm exhausted. So I'm glad I got to jump on because I wasn't sure if y'all were even going to be here. So I was like, crap, it's like after 9.
The t-shirt, are you wearing one? Like, what's with this t-shirt?
Oh, it's a lyric. Yeah, it's a lyric from Kendrick Lamar. That whole it was a lyric based upon. He said, "Headshots, you're gonna have to walk around like Daft Punk." So it's a Daft Punk helmet with the Drake album cover. I believe it was
Are
the
you
album
gonna
cover.
show us? Are you gonna show us since you talked about
Oh, I
it?
thought you could. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing myself.
Did
Okay.
you see it, Gina? I didn't see it.
His shirt that he has on now? Oh, I can't see. I'm on my phone. It's real small.
Oh,
What?
okay.
I guess
And my eyes are not good right now. I'm tired. I
wow,
cried
the
a
whole
lot
thing
today.
went big. The whole thing went.
It's-
Oh, okay. Oh, you're wearing
Yes,
it.
yes,
Nice.
I'm wearing it. Yes.
I figured. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any there actually in my car. That's why I said I was gonna go out and try to sell some, see if I can sell some outside. They will be on my. You can DM me if anyone's watching, listening. You can DM me if there's any left by the time that I'm here. You know,
Mhm.
I went through my little 7 clubs. This stint. I actually was sitting on 7 clubs, and well, I had a little bit of pessimism. I was thinking outside the concert. That was part of the story that I was going to hand out flyers and promote the YouTube. But I was like, they just left a concert. No one is worried about your flyer. They just left one of the most epic concerts this year. They're not worried about no YouTube about Drake versus Kendrick spiritually. Just chill, just enjoy, let them enjoy their time. They're trying to get to their car, bro. So maybe before it might have been a thought, they might have took it, put it in their car, but not after. But and then usually on Juneteenth, what I used to do every year, I used to promote Juneteenth and put flyers on car doors for a Juneteenth concert. So these are always moments like I look at energy and reflect personally. I've done a lot. So there's but always true and honest to the moment. I do, and reading the cards that way makes me look at it. What lens am I really looking at this through as well? So I appreciate y'all coming, helping, giving your life stories, your reflections, and your honesty. Also, and that's why we all here. I always say, we give you our lives. What do you bring to the table? It is called the card table for that reason as well, because we come here and we pull cards and we describe them based upon our personal experiences and what we have in our personal hand. So I do reflect a lot. So appreciate you all's reflections. And we'll see you all next week. It's a King of Clubs week. It'll be a lot to kind of speak about and reflect around the King of Clubs. I think it is starting tomorrow and going until next Sunday. So if you have questions, always let me know. Thank you for your reflections and everyone's opinions and feedbacks. I do pay attention and appreciate it. So see you all next week. Shirts are for sale. And what do you have coming up?
Yeah, you're saying shirts for sale. Tell me more. Maybe I want to know about this.
No, I was saying shirts for sale. I was saying that's what I have going. Do y'all have any that you all anything that you all want to say or?
I have my Saturn workshop next Saturday, 12:30. If anybody wants to get in, let me know. Message me, email me. It's similar to the Pluto workshop I did last Saturday. So this Saturday coming up will be your Saturn card and what it's teaching you.
Okay.
Nice.
So I will see you guys next Sunday. I am gonna go to bed.
Yeah, and we have the July 5th. It's going to be on Fridays at 5. There's going to be another live YouTube called the Family Card Table, associated with this card table, but focusing specifically on family dynamics and the way that parents and children might interact with one another. And we'll see where it grows. But there's packages that are being built, and they have so much cool stuff in them for people who are into these things. Like all the different participants brought something to the packages. So it's really awesome. So if you're interested, what is take a moment to, I'm not sure what she's saying.
Oh, that
So,
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't for you. I'm sorry. It was just for everyone else.
oh, okay. So, so yeah, there's evolutionary astrology in there. There's charts about parenting. There's how the planetary ruling works and the birth card works and how they work together and how composites work. And it's done like a tree, like you grow from your awareness of yourself and there's your seed and you kind of bring yourself through with awareness. So it's been really fun to create it. And on Friday the 5th, it will come out for the first live YouTube. And, I'm just excited to go into my 60s with this kind of clarity of where it is I like to play. And the same team, with the mission of family harmony is what stays with me. That seems to be that we're all on the same team. And the more harmonious we can be with each other with awareness, then we get to find out what happens next. Otherwise, we just keep sharing stories of, drama.
All right, and that is the Queen of Clubs: drama, relationships, using and expressing your thoughts and your ideas in a creative way. So, great way to end it. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll see you all next week. I have to get to work. All right.
Bye, thanks.
I enjoy.
Bye, thank you. I'm just sending it over to mine.
Okay.
Oops. Goodbye, everyone.